Okay, this is the ZeroBS CRM live product tour. So again, we're a couple of minutes early, so we'll just give a couple more minutes for anybody to attend. So we're doing this one slightly earlier to pick up some people that maybe couldn't make a later time slot in the UK. But also this might be a little bit too early for the people in the States. So again, there might not be too many on today's. So I'll just a little bit of a recap of how these webinars work. So it's just a way for you to see the products set up with some demo data that we've installed, and just for me to give an overview of the CRM. We won't have time to go into all the extensions in detail, but if there is anything you want to particularly see or have any questions about, please do just ask them in the questions tab, and then I can answer them live in the webinar so people can see what I am answering. So if you've got any questions, you can ask them whenever, and I'll just jump back and answer them as I go through. But if you could just introduce yourself in the general chat window, just say where you're watching from, and I'll start in a minute or two. Okay, so I'll make a start with the webinar. So again, please do let me know where you're watching from, and if you have any questions, ask them on the questions tab. And if you're having any issues hearing me or anything like that, again, just let me know via the chat window. So I've got the ZeroBS CRM installed on my WordPress install. So this is how it will look when you've got quite a bit of data in. So I put quite a lot of example data in, and I've got a couple of extensions installed. So I've got Sales Dashboard, which you can see over here to the left, Mail Campaigns, and it's also running WooCommerce, which is an e-commerce solution, and also got WooSync installed as well for if you are going into those type of details. But as mentioned, today won't be going into too much detail when it comes to extensions. It'll just be looking at the CRM as it would look as a install once you've got data in there, and covering some of the areas in the CRM and what each of them are, and also how you can access each of the areas, and if there's any particular things you're looking to do. So the CRM on the first load will actually load up the welcome tour. So if you do need to revisit that, you can do it by hovering over your face in the top right, and then go into welcome tour again. So that will reload in the CRM welcome tour, and that is a little bit of a guided walkthrough as well, just to show you some of the areas of the CRM. So I'll do this in the webinar rather than clicking it through here. But the first thing that a lot of people tend to jump past, they'll just go straight on to the next. They won't actually notice that this says, if you click the little logo, then you can move it into full focus mode, so full screen mode. So again, this tends to be how I work with the CRM. When we're using the CRM pages, it just gives you a bit more space to see what's going on, and you can still access the majority of things through your the top menu. So this is the CRM. I've set it up with some dummy data spanning back just over a year. So this contact list over time will show you how many contacts you're adding to your CRM each month, and you can see whether you're actually getting more leads into your system. So are you getting more interest from your website? Are you getting more sources of leads? Are you just growing the audience that's interested in your product, your service, or your general business? So it's a great way to see actually, are things working, are things going up, are things going down? So this is an overview over time, and then depending on what statuses you've got set up. So you have this is the sales funnel, so it gives you just a way of seeing actually of the leads that are coming in, how many are you actually processing through your CRM? So how many people are you moving to that next step? So are you getting them too many in just leads, and then you're not being actually able to contact them all? So you've got a lot of leads coming in that are just like going off the other end. The revenue chart, again, is similar to the one above. It will just show you how your revenue performance is doing if you are selling things through your website. So you might be getting less contacts, less leads, but you might be getting more revenue. So you might have improved your conversion rates. And then a little bit lower down, it shows you your latest contacts, and then also a bit about your latest activity. So these are the latest activity logs. So again, this is all just randomized demo data. So your dashboard will just evolve over time. And if there's any areas that you don't want to see in the dashboard, you can click in and you can turn things on and off. So these are the number summaries at the top. So this will show you how many contacts you've got in your CRM, how many of them are leads in the current lead status, how many are customers, and how many transactions have been made. So again, this has just been generated so that each customer just makes one transaction, but you may be having the situation where you'll be selling to customers over and over, so there'll be more transactions made, and you'll be able to see how many of those customers have you then successfully sold a further product to or a further service to. So again, if you've got any questions as I'm going along, if there's any areas you're wanting to see in more detail, just let me know. So that's the dashboard. So then the next place to look into is contacts. So across the top bar, we sort of have contacts, and then companies are sitting under contacts. So if you're running B2B mode, which is business to business, then companies, you can add them in there. So you can start looking at storing that high level up. So if you know you're working with a company like Apple, you might have thousands of contacts at Apple that you want to group under that company. And then if you're looking for specific people, you can always then filter down and quickly see, like, find the person you're looking for through that route. And so contacts, and then so the list view is when you view all your contacts. So this brings up everything that's been going on with the contact activity in your database. So you'll see here that I've got a number of different statuses. So I've got leads, I've got people that are interested, people that are customers, people that have tried the demo, and these are all just randomized people, as you can see. So this is the list view. So you can go in there and you can add new contacts. So I've added 2 contacts here of myself and Woody. And then you can filter down. So you could take a look at, for example, everybody that's tried the demo. You can then filter your list and say, actually, I just want to have a look at everybody that's tried a demo. And then you can see everybody in here filtered by that status. So if your work in the CRM is to contact each person and move them further along your intended sales funnel, then this is a great way of doing it. So you can do it via filters, which is the statuses or any segments that you have set up. So I've got a couple of segments in here as well. So I'll touch on those a little bit later, and then also any tags. So I've got a couple of example bundle tags here. So anybody that's purchased a reseller bundle, then you might be able to you can tag them, and it will show them up in the list a little bit easier. So you can see that this person, they're a customer, and they've grabbed a bundle. So you might have a situation where you're adding a new contact. So you go in, and this is the adding a new contact page. So you might have a reseller bundle again as a tag. I'll add that in a minute. Actually, I'll add the contact first. So you've got a new lead. So you add all the data. Mr. Reseller bundle. So he's interested in reseller bundle. You see, I've also got a couple of extra fields here for hair color and birthday. So these are just example custom fields. So after I've just shown how we add a person with a specific area, and then I'll show you how that looks. And I'll go into then the custom fields if you are wanting to capture more information. And this person, again, they'll work at Zero BS Software Limited. And we'll save this person. So again, it's another made up person, they're a lead, but they're interested in the reseller bundle. So we have the tag and save the person. So then when we go back to the contact list view, you'll see now that there should be 2 people with the reseller tag. And say, okay, that's great. So you can quickly filter everybody that's either purchased or are interested in a particular product there. So you got lead and a customer. But then the next level down is segments. So you'll see in the little filters here, I've got a couple of segments. So elite customers and reseller customers. So I've just dragged those in. So reseller customers, if I click that one, it'll bring up only people that have the reseller tag that also have the status customer. So again, we can clear all the filters because that's built on top of each other. But so just to cover that again, so reseller bundle, there's 2, but we've only got 1 person that's a reseller who's actually purchased in this example. So again, it's all example data, and then that's where segments come in. So you can create segments that are a combination of different fields in your CRM. So if we add another one here, so if I could say Brown, actually no, let's say Mike's who have purchased status equals customer, so you can pick any of the statuses here, and then you can say hashtag equals elite bundle, and then you can say full name contains Mike. So this is building up a more specific segment. So there needs to be a customer with the tag elite bundle, and also the name contains Mike. So then you can take a look there and say, okay, there's 1 person that matches that. So Mike, who has those conditions. So you can build these up, and you can add conditions based on various types of fields. So that just gives you a way of further refining your list. So when you then come back to the list view, you can then start using and looking at your segments in that way. So again, I can bring in Mike's who have purchased elite bundle as another filter. And when I click that, it will specifically bring down anybody who's matches that tag. So then if I added another person, now with the same criteria. So again, so this person's a customer, Mr. Jones. And person again. Save. And elite bundle. So they needed the tag of elite bundle, customer with Mike in the name. And then you'll see that the segment will have updated again to bring that person in. So again, we're looking for Mike who purchased the elite bundle. And now it's bringing those 2 people in. So that's how the segmentation works on top of that combination of fields and tags. So it's a really powerful way of drilling down into your contact list, and then you can do things on the back of that in your CRM a little bit later on. Okay, so again, if there's any questions as I'm going through, please do ask. So in the contact record, you might have seen that I had a couple of extra custom fields, and I'm managing different statuses in this install. So that's all handled via the settings. So you hover over your face, and then settings, and that brings up the CRM settings. So then it's custom fields. So if you're customizing statuses or fields, then you do it under here. So you'll see here that I've added hair color and birthday. There's a couple of custom fields, and then further down, these are my statuses. So this the statuses that I wanted to be using my CRM with. And then further down again on the funnel, those statuses are matching. So that's giving you the way of actually showing how you can modify the CRM to track as many statuses as you want, and then as many steps in a funnel as you want. And then those custom statuses and custom fields either become filters, as you can see here, try demo, or if you click the little blue icon on the right, you can drag them into the CRM. So you can say, actually, I want to bring in hair colors. I want to see at a glance people's hair color. So I've not been capturing it for everybody, but for the people that I have, you can quickly see there that, okay, so brown is hair color. And then if you've got our advanced segments extension, that gives you a way then of using that hair color in a segment as before. So you could target everybody called Mike with brown hair who are a customer with a specific tag. And then you can use things like mail campaigns to then go ahead and target those people. So if you had a special offer for brown hair dye for people called Mike, they might be going a bit grey, and you could then quickly, easily set up a new campaign in the CRM to target those type of people. So you could set up an email sequence, and then this is mail campaigns version 2. So again, we've not got the time today to go through this in detail, but you could say like Mike resellers, and Mike elite bundles. So you could create a very specific sequence of emails to go out to, again, segments, Mike's who have purchased the elite bundle. So what happens here is once you've set up this, the recipients of this sequence, you'll see 2 contacts currently match it. Whenever any new contact matches those conditions, they'll go directly into this email sequence. And this is where you build that sequence. So you can add delays, you can add more emails, you can add more delays, you can change. So wait 2 days, send the next email, wait 5 days, send the next, and you can decide what content goes into each email. So you can go in and you can edit the content. And then once that's done, so you set up an email campaign. So it's a 3 email sequence going out over 8 days to people in the segment of Mike's who have purchased elite. So you can set all of these types of marketing campaigns up on the back of your CRM contact list. And then what happens then is anybody that hits that condition gets added as recipients. And then over time, you'll be able to see how many of emails have been sent in each of your emails, how many have been opened, how many have been clicked, and how many have unsubscribed. And then you can view that easily for other campaigns in the mail campaign sequence store. So if you go to live sequences, you can look at one that we made earlier. So a reseller welcome pack is going out to everybody. So again, so one recipient, and you'll be able to see when it was sent and when it's been opened, etc. for each of these active sequences. So when you're running this on a live system, it'll start building up data, and you can see the effectiveness of each of those types of campaigns. So that's how it sort of links in with the contacts. So you've got contacts coming into your website through various means, and then you can do things with them. Okay, so see if there's been any questions. So if you've got any questions, do let me know. If there's any particular areas you want to see in the CRM, again, let me know there, and I can show you that area of the CRM. So we've got dashboard, you've got quotes, contacts. So this is your dashboard, and it'll show you any activity there. So you can see that it'll say a mail campaign has been sent, equal for sequence Mike elite bundles. So that'll all be logged against the people. So if I go back to my contacts and I find Mike that match that criteria, so Mike, and you can see that it'll show you when these have been sent, and it'll tell you also in this activity log at what point they've opened it. So if they've opened the mail campaign at a particular time, so it's been sent, but it's not been opened yet. So you can see all this type of activity for the individual contacts. You can see what tags they've got. You can see any socials like Facebook and Twitter that you might have stored for these contacts. And you can also then, if you've got B2B mode, see who they work for. So you can click and take a look at ZBS Software Limited, and you can see that there's 3 contacts at that company. So if you've got, if you're managing bigger contacts, then you can actually see who's working where. And it's just another way of actually filtering down and seeing what's going on. So the other areas of the CRM, so you've got, that's around capturing leads. So if you want to capture leads into your CRM, you can use any of our form connectors. So if you have a Contact 7 form or a Gravity form, and you're wanting to get contacts into your CRM, then you can set up your Gravity form alongside our connector to bring them in, and you can have certain forms, have certain tags. And then as you've seen from this, you can then start doing a lot of things on the back of that. So if you had a form on your website about inquiring about a particular product or service, then that could come into the CRM with a particular tag, and then you can set up your various email sequences and whatnot on the back of that tag, or you could just have it notify certain people that actually someone's inquired about a VIP service, so you then know that you need to do something on the back of that. So dashboard, contacts, get contacts in through various forms, or if you're using the API, you can use something like Zapier to send contacts in. Then if you are doing quotes, this is another area of the CRM. So if you've got, if people are, for example, say you're running a business that deals in car washes, so you're installing car washes into garages and you want to do a quote for going and installing the car wash. So next to the petrol pumps, you may have a car wash. So you might be capturing leads for that type of installation, and you particularly want to set up a specific reply or a specific quote that you can give somebody. So you can do quote templates. You can create a quote template and you could call it a car wash installation. And then you can add all sorts of things in here. So car wash quotation. This is a quote part, and then you can insert details where we will look to install a car wash. So you can be as detailed as you want in here, and you could even have like terms and conditions. You've got, this is a quote for this contact name, and then you could even have things like about us, and then you can go in again and say, so business name. So business name has 10 years experience in installing washes. So you can get as detailed as you want, and you can use placeholders and whatnot and save it down. So you've got, this is a car wash installation, car wash quotation, and you'll see that I've done some placeholders. So then when you go back to, say I then add a quote. So I've had an inquiry to my website. It's for Mike. Again, so, for Mike. So, car wash installation. 500. And then see that the templates come up here. So that's the one I made a minute ago. And then you can use the quote builder. So what this does, it populates it based on the placeholders, and you'll see here that it saves you retyping things out. So you know you need to do this process, you know it's for a certain person, and then so you've done the quote, you save the quote. So that's done. So that was super quick. And if you're doing more of them each day, you're not needing to keep typing out the same type of information. And then when you come onto the contact page again, you'll see, if I go and view Mike, who I've just done that quote for, you'll see that the quote was created. And that now there's 500 of interested value in there in quotes. And then you can go down here and view the quote there and see that it's been created, but it's not yet been accepted by this person. So that's how the quote side works. And then as you see, I made it for this person. But then when I go in and look at client portal, so this is the area of the CRM. And you'll see if I go to quotes, so this is what the client will see as they log in. So I made it for myself for this very reason. And you can say here that, oh, okay, I've had this quote through, and then I can go and have a look. So I'm having a look at the quote in the client portal. And again, it's a very basic one that I wrote, so it wasn't much information in there. So this could be to any of your people that are interested in things. And you can see there that accept the quote, so we'll accept. So as the client's accepted that quote, and then if we go back as a CRM person, so the person that's in the CRM, you can see here that the quote's been created, but then down here you can see that it was accepted on the 26th of February. So you can actually see what's been going on there, that okay, they're happy with it, and then you move to the next stage, which would be, so you create the work, you do the installation, and then you come down to actually invoicing the person. So these are our, this is the invoice information. So again, it's for Mike. So it's a invoice for this person. And again, it's for quantity. So it's for 1 car wash. So you've done the work, you're coming down to invoice the person. We quoted 500. 1 car wash. Invoice for 1 car wash. So reference car 001. Done the work, done it super quick, installed the car wash. The quote was accepted, and so now this is an invoice that's been unpaid. So I'm happy with the draft. It's now status unpaid. So then again, this is what the contact would see. So they saw the quotes, and now the CRM person has made them an invoice. So when they go back to their portal, you'll see that there's an invoice there. So I'll view that one, and it's unpaid. So invoice here to pay. It's invoice to me, 1 car wash. So if you've got Invoicing Pro installed, then that gives you the option for people to pay it online. So they'll be able to log on, put the card details in, and pay it online. So that's how the whole invoicing side works. So contact comes in, do a quote, send an invoice, and then if you've got Invoicing Pro, then if they pay it via the portal, then that will be installed that way and paid, so the transaction will be automatically made. But if not, I need to add it manually. Payment for car wash. This is how you go about adding it manually. So again, we find Mike. So again, if we go quickly, you'll see invoices. There was already one in there, so let me refresh. So invoices, we got one that's unpaid. So I'm now adding a transaction, payment for the car wash. And it's for invoice on the 26th. So it's paying that invoice. It's been paid, so I'll save that. So that's been done. So then if I go back to the contact and refresh, you'll see the transaction's been made. The invoice is there. The transaction's been paid, and then it'll all come through to the final version. So that'll be marked as paid. Once it's been verified, the transaction's been paid, and then back on the client portal, you'll be able to see on the transactions what transactions this person have made. So again, you can see what's happened and the IDs. So again, transaction X, payment for the car wash 500. So if you need to, if they can't remember what they paid you over time, you can see it via the portal. Okay, so I've got a question here. So it's how do separate organizations work? So we have many clients who need a separate CRM, which are isolated from other organizations. User 1 would only see organization 2, user 2 organization 2, etc. Okay, so so the CRM is a single install CRM. So if I go back to the CRM area, so you've got the dashboard. This is, if you are, say this is the CRM for organization 1. All these contacts are related to organization 1. And organization 1 may have a number of team members working in that. So under team, so you see in this example, there's just myself. But if there was a number of team members in here, then they can all access this same contact list. If you're looking to have a separate CRM for organization 2, then that needs to be a separate install for organization 2. So that can be done in various ways. So one way would be if you'd install the CRM separately on each organization's install, or each organization's website, or you could use something like multi-site and have a separate website for each organization to log into. So it could be organization.0bscrm.com, organization2.0bscrm. So you could use subdomains and you could do that from a multi-site network. But each CRM install is its own standalone CRM. So if they need a separate CRM, it would need to be separately installed through one of those ways of doing it. Okay, so that covers. So team, if you are adding another team member. So the CRM team members are WordPress users. So if I'm in here. Okay, and we don't want to send an email. So if he was, so ZBS admin, full permissions. So this isn't quite the same as a WordPress administrator role. And you see here that he ends up being in as a user with our permission role there. So that if I logged in as Woody into this WordPress install, he wouldn't see all of this, all of the WordPress admin area. So he wouldn't be able to go in and install plugins. He'd just see the CRM. So I can show you how that looks via the CRM anyway. So if you go to CRM settings, and if you wanted to lock it down for everybody, you'll see down here you've got WordPress override mode. So you can say override WordPress and override it for everybody. So this will do it for myself as well. And then we're going to call it 0BS. So you can change the login logo as well. So if people are going to log in via your, like the WordPress admin area, you can easily change that to be whichever logo you want. So that puts in a logo. So save down the settings. So this is sort of setting it up in a way that, again, let's move that out of the way so you can see. So normal WordPress people will see all this. So appearance, WooCommerce, posts, pages. If you override WordPress, you'll see that it all goes away. So WooCommerce and products are still there for admin. So if you're still doing that level, but otherwise, those will go away as well. So if you're not admin, you'll just see 0BS CRM. And you won't see the other areas. So you can do admin again, I can get the settings. But if I wasn't the admin role, then this is all they'd see. They wouldn't be able to go into posts and pages and the items you had before. And overriding WordPress just means that you see that goes away. So you can't really see this is WordPress. And we remove the version number of WordPress at the bottom. So you see that it just says about ZBS. And this is pretty much all there is to it there. So you can tidy this down in menu options as well. So you see here that I set it up as slimline as the menu option. So if you wanted it to be even more just CRM, you can change this mode to CRM only. And save again. And then that makes it it'll change it yet again. So you see now that we're even different. So there's less under this ZBS dashboard, or in the version before, they were all highlighted down here. But now you see you can get to contacts quickly from there if you need to, or companies from there, or tasks, or quotes, or invoices. So if you're running a CRM only, this is another option that the sidebar will effectively be similar to the top bar. And you can get at various extensions. So this would be the sales dashboard, and you'll see that it loads in your data. And you can see all sorts of information there about the CRM. So again, this is dummy data into the CRM. So you can see what's been going on, how things are going over time, how many contacts you're adding each day, and how much you're growing your CRM over the time as well, or your contact list over the period. And you can change the various periods up here. So you could look at it, how December was compared to November. So you can see that, okay, we got 2% more revenue, we added slightly less customers, and we grew by 6.5%. So these are just high level touch on some of the extensions. So that's pretty much most of the CRM there. Again, there's a lot of different areas that you can go about and extend to. So again, if you go here and manage extensions, you can take a look at what's available. So we do have the extension store. So there's a number of extensions here that you can further extend the power of the CRM. So So this pop-up that's just come up, so this says, okay, it's an exit intent. So I was about to leave the web page. I move my cursor out of the window. So it pops up and says, how many people, find out why people choose us, enter your email and your name and count me in. So what happens there? And you'll see it's powered by exit B. So this will go in, and then because we have a connector, anybody that fills that form in will go into the CRM, and we can do particularly what we wanted to do on the back of that. So we can start marketing people that we're about to leave, and you can send them certain sequences. So that's what that one does. The Livestorm Connect extension lets you automatically add people that have visited a webinar, so people that signed up, and you can see the information of did they attend, how long did they attend, how many questions did they ask, etc. Advanced segments I touched on before. So if you wanted to create a segment that included custom fields, for example, or certain other areas. So if you wanted to filter everybody with brown hair, then you need that extension. That gives you the extra flexibility there. WordPress utilities is if you're wanting to capture general WordPress signups. So if you've got a normal WordPress site with a WordPress registration form, anybody that registers through your site will automatically go into your CRM. So we've got a couple of extensions here, like MemberMouse Connect. So if you're running a membership website, you can connect and use something like MemberMouse or something like Stripe or other types of subscription systems to see that information in the CRM as well. Client Portal Pro enhances the client portal. So the bit I was showing you here, there's certain things like invoices. You'll see I've got a little button that says download PDF. So that's included from that extension. And you'll see I've just clicked that and it loads down the PDF. And then the PDF of the one I made before. So it's just another, if you're having people always contact you saying, oh, can you resend me that invoice? All you need to do now is just say, you can get it from the portal. So they don't need to keep downloading. You don't need to keep emailing PDFs. They just know where to go to get copies. So that's a big time saver if you're always being chased for copies of prior invoices. Twilio is if you want to send any SMSs to contacts. So if you're capturing mobile numbers and you want to send a quick message instead of a phone call, then you can just do that through the Twilio Connect. And then, as I said, there's too many to go into too much detail here. So we've got a number of form connectors that help get your leads into the CRM. We've got a number of payment connectors. So if you're using an e-commerce store like WooCommerce, then it'll bring all of your WooCommerce information into the CRM, and it'll keep your CRM up to date as new orders come in. And so we're adding new extensions all the time. So if you've not voted on any of our coming soon either, then have a number of extensions in our coming soon area. So I will share that link. So this gives you a way of, if there's something you're thinking, can it do this, can it do that? Then vote on the coming soon, because it's likely that we've been asked before. So coming soon. So vote. The webinar now, so you should see a little pop-up that says vote on coming soon. So if you've not been on that page, it's definitely worth going on that page and taking a look and seeing on there in particular that you really need for your CRM. And so let me, okay, so that covers that. So anybody that does want to vote or hasn't voted, do go to the coming soon page. I will click no thanks this time so I don't keep getting reminders. So coming soon page covers that, and then we've got again all the extensions that are available in the bundles. So if you've not got a bundle already, then you can save by getting everything in a bundle. So the Entrepreneur bundle gives you access to all the CRM extensions and any new CRM extension releases, and it gives you priority support, and then also it's the same in reseller, but you get access to the rebranding platform. So if you are running this and you wanted to rebrand it as a CRM that you're installing for organizations, then I can show you very quickly how that looks. So you'll see here that this is a CRM branded one. So if you've rebranded and run the rebrander, this is another option as part of the reseller. So you see here that I've used WordPress as the example. So you just see it says WordPress CRM. There's no identification there or in any of this setup that it will be a CRM. So if you're running this for organizations and other clients, then this is an option. You can go in and rebrand it. So this, again, I've chosen WordPress as an example. This isn't a WordPress run CRM here. It's just, this is the obvious brand to choose here. So WordPress CRM, it's changed everything to WordPress. Any like notifications, etc., will be coming from WordPress and not from ZBS CRM. And it says thank you for creating with whatever the name of the CRM is there. So there's a lot of areas here. So this is another option, and that's included in the reseller. So if you want to run things through the rebranding platform, you can do that, and that changes things like the emailers will go to your form. You can choose where that goes, and same with yeah. So it's just, it stops it looking like us. So you can host this, run this for your people that would be interested in the CRM, but you want it to look like your own CRM. So you join in as a reseller, and that's something that you could do. Aside from that, you get 10 site licenses in that plan. So 10 CRMs. So if you've got 10 organizations, then that's the one you'd go for. Each get their own CRM, and each are under the brand that you set up. Okay, so again, if there's any other questions, do let me know. And because I've got a few more minutes now, I'm pretty much through the tour now. So if there's anything else you want to particularly see, and or any questions you have, do ask. I just missed that. So yeah, so these are current bundles. So we are very near releasing version 3. So the extension version, the extension prices have been decided what they're going to be in version 3. So version 3. So this is our page that again is a coming soon page for version 3. So we're working on this as we continue to work on version 3. And so this is an early view of the version 3. So again, I will send this. So see our road to V3. And this includes the pricing of what the price is going to be when we get to version 3. So I can quickly give you a very high level look here. So this is what we've been working on from between version 2 and version 3. And it sort of shows where we're up to. So mail campaigns that I touched on, that was version 2. And that's included in the bundle. So it's coming out officially alongside version 3. But if you get the entrepreneurs bundle or the reseller bundle before version 3 comes out, then you get mail campaigns in there. Otherwise, it'll be part of either the elite or the reseller under the new pricing. And we're now just working on finalizing the CRM-wide performance improvements, so making it a little bit easier to do some of the larger data searches. So if you wanted to look for everybody that's purchased a certain item and you just know the item name and you've not tagged them, things like that will become easier when the data is migrated. So a bit more information, a bit of some reviews about what people are saying, and then so this is again the current pricing. So if you purchase now before version 3, then you lock yourself into these prices. So when the renewal comes around, you will be renewed on whatever price you're on. So if you join at 199 or the 649, then you'll always be renewed at that price. And if you purchase any additional sites on the 649 or even any additional licenses on the 199, they'll increment up at these prices. It won't be, you won't have to purchase new ones at version 3. So version 3 pricing, again, we are increasing the price of Entrepreneur Bundle because we've added a lot of CRM extensions in there and a lot of more improvements. And then Elite Bundle is everything in the Entrepreneur plus the mail campaigns. So email marketing comes in there. So if you do want the email marketing side I was showing, then in version 2, it's currently in version 2's Entrepreneur, and you'll keep access to that then as well. So per month, it's again, there's no limits, so it's per CRM, so it's a single per month equivalent there that's billed annually. So if you've got 10 users, it's still 25 a month. If you've got 100 users, it's still 25, and there's no limits on contacts. There's no limits on how many emails that you send out per month, because you're managing all of that yourself. And then reseller, again, works out slightly cheaper. And you get access to that white label option. So you can then go in and change the brand, change the look and appearance and the theme colors, and sell it as your own. So you could sell access to a CRM for your organizations for anything more than 10 a month, and you'll be making profit on that from your side. So that's how it's going to look in version 3, and you can see all the extensions that are included in each of the bundles. So you see the only difference in these two is that Mail Campaigns V2 will be part of either the Elite or the reseller. So Entrepreneur would just be the CRM extensions, whereas the Elite package, you get Mail Campaigns and you'll get access to some of our potential future bigger extensions as well that aren't CRM related. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the tour. Again, if there's any questions, please do let us know. And if there's, again, vote on the coming soon. If you are interested in one of the bundles to pick up, it's definitely worth grabbing it now before we increase the prices. So if you have enjoyed it today, again, do please help support us, help keeping us improving the CRM by grabbing a bundle. So I'll keep the webinar open for a few more minutes, just so if there's any questions, I can pick up on them. Otherwise, that's it for today's tour. So each of these tours we put onto the YouTube channel after the event. So if you want to see what's coming up, you can go to our coming up classes. So again, I'll quickly share that into the chat this time. So there's a number of webinars coming up. So there's one on the 28th. Next is looking at WooCommerce. So we have a bit of a mixture. So the general product tours is what's been happening today. So this is today's 26th of February, and it's just the usual tour. And then the extension masterclasses go into a little bit more detail about each of the extensions and show a few more, like if you've got this type of setup, how you might want to be looking at it. So we covered Mail Campaigns last Thursday in a bit more detail. And then we'll be looking at WooCommerce on this Thursdays. And then following that, we're having a bit of a break. So then we're back then towards the end of March with more webinars. So again, where else can you watch? If any of these sessions that you can't make, so you're thinking, I'd quite like to do that one, or I wish I'd have seen the more detailed one on last Thursday, then head over to our YouTube channel. So if you're not on our YouTube channel, if you've not subscribed, do subscribe because everything gets added there. And if you're subscribed to the channel, then you will be able to, you'll just be notified of when anything new is coming on. So you subscribe. If you're having to make sure that you can attend all of these webinars. So actually attending in person is good if you want to ask questions and see particular areas. But otherwise, if you just want to catch it after the event, then subscribe to the YouTube. Because we do add all of the videos on there, and there's more than just the webinars. So we've got some other like high level, like client portal in less than 2 minutes, or we have the dashboard walkthrough in detail, or a little touch on some like quick, like 20 seconds, what is a link field. So there's there's some shorter videos there if you've not seen, and so that's that area of that's our YouTube. We also have a page on our website which gets updated. So this is another way of going on and looking at the last live product tour, and then you can also see any of the previous ones and any particular, like the latest live webinars. So we've now done 2 on Mail Campaigns. So this one, number 8, was the latest. So again, it's a good way to see where the latest content is. So again, I'll send that through as well. Thank you everybody for attending and asking questions, and I hope it's been useful. So again, until next time, this is all about our CRM, and our extensions are, we're still running the final stages of our V2 offer. So do grab an extension if you've not done already, or a bundle, because the prices are going up. So again, thank you everybody for attending, and we'll see everybody soon.